Good evening. This is Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. The biggest crisis facing wrestling in India is boiling over. For the second day running, protesting wrestlers have met with Sports Minister Anurag Thakur, but there's no resolution to their standoff. The person who's in the crosshairs, the Wrestling Federation President Brij Bhushan Singh, is also doubling down. He says there is no question of resigning. He says he's an elected president of the WFI. He's not there because of anybody's charity. So, the big question then, what will give, how and when?
खिलाड़ियों को मारने तक की धमकी दे रहे हैं, तो इससे बुरा समय और क्या होगा। तो दबाव में तो आदमी कुछ भी कर सकता है।
जो इस तरह लड़कियां आवाज उठाएंगी तो मैं मानता हूं भविष्य में खतरा टल जाएगा।
जल्द से जल्द कार्रवाई हो और दूध का दूध पानी का पानी हो, सीबीआई जांच हो, तो प्रधानमंत्री जी बताएंगे उनका कि उसमें क्या बोलना है और क्या कार्रवाई करेंगे।
इस्तीफा कोई सवाल नहीं। मैं जो है किसी की दया पर नहीं यहाँ पर बैठा हूँ। मैं चुना हुआ अध्यक्ष हूँ जनता के द्वारा।
All right, and breaking news coming right at the top of Brass Tacks. The Indian Olympic Association has now formed a 7-member committee to probe the allegations of sexual harassment against WFI chief Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. The members include Mary Kom, Yogeshwar Dutt and eminent Olympians who have represented India. Let me go across to Arun Dhanta, who is joining us live from outside Anurag Thakur's residence, where the meeting is going on for the last couple of hours between the protesting wrestlers and the sports minister. But more importantly, the Indian Olympic Association, headed by a woman, one of India's most famous women athletes, now getting down to brass tacks and saying that we are going to have an investigation committee. It has 7 members, which include some of the finest Indian Olympians, who will get to the bottom of these allegations raised by India's wrestlers. The point is, how soon can we expect some kind of a movement on that story? And more importantly, what's going on inside in Anurag Thakur's residence? What's the chance that the second meeting in 2 days will actually lead to a resolution of this conflict?
Well, Zaka, as we speak, the meeting is still underway here at Anurag Thakur's residence. We have delegation of wrestlers inside. We have the officials of Sports Ministry, Sports Authority of India, and of course the Union Minister inside. And it's been 2 hours since the meeting is underway. And meanwhile, also, as you rightly break down this, that the Indian Olympic Association meeting got over, which was called by the chief of the IOA, PT Usha, at around 5:45. It was an online meeting where all the members of Indian Olympic Association participated, and this meeting came after the letter written by the wrestler to the IOA, and now they have decided that a 7-member panel will look into the complaints of the wrestlers, and it has the likes of Yogeshwar Dutt, Mary Kom, Dola Banerjee, along with the 2 lawyers. So these 7 people will be part of this IOA's formed new committee. However, the timeline has not been fixed, that how much time this committee has to actually give.
All right, Arun, give me a moment. I'm sorry I'm interrupting, but Yogeshwar Dutt is one of the 7 members of this IOA committee. He's now joining us on the phone line. Yogeshwar ji, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए. क्या आपको कोई ऑफिशियल कम्युनिकेशन आया है IOA की तरफ से कि एक इन्वेस्टिगेशन होगा और इन्वेस्टिगेशन कमेटी जो 7 मेंबर का कमेटी है उसके एक अंग आप भी होंगे? कोई कम्युनिकेशन आया अभी तक?
देखिए, आज हमारी मीटिंग थी आईओ की जी, और लगभग 2 घंटा वो मीटिंग चली है। वो इसी विषय पे थी जी, वो इसी विषय पे थी कि भाई खिलाड़ियों के साथ ये जो भी चीजें हुई हैं ये बड़ी गलत है। ये जो खिलाड़ियों ने अभी ये लगाए हैं, एलिगेशन लगाए हैं, तो ये बड़े गंभीर आरोप है। तो इनकी एक जांच कमेटी बनाई गई है, और किस तरीके से खेलों में पारदर्शिता है, खिलाड़ी परेशान ना हो, उसी को देखते हुए ये चीजें हुई है। और मेरा मानना है कि इनका अभी जो कमेटी जो काम करेगी बिल्कुल निष्पक्ष तरीके से करेगी।
जी, आपकी जो कार्रवाई है ये कब तक शुरू होगी? कल से शुरू होगी?
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। अभी हमारी मीटिंग 2 घंटे मीटिंग, तो बड़ी लंबी मीटिंग हो चली है। उसमें ये है कि भाई जो भी चीजें हैं उसमें फिर उसमें जांच हो और सबको मतलब एक लोग न्याय मिलना चाहिए खिलाड़ियों को।
तो आप खिलाड़ियों को बुलाएंगे, उनके साथ बात करेंगे, उनका स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड करेंगे, ये जो WFI प्रेसिडेंट है, अध्यक्ष जो हैं, उनको भी बुलाएंगे पूछताछ के लिए?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सारी चीजें होंगी इसमें।
जी, और ये IOA के पास क्या पावर है, इस कमेटी के पास क्या पावर है? अगर आपका
डिस्कस हो जाए कि भाई कहाँ आरोप होते हैं, क्या होते हैं, एक बार मिल के बात करेंगे। क्योंकि आज ऑनलाइन जूम मीटिंग थी, उसमें अभिनव बिंद्रा जी भी थे, हमारी अध्यक्ष तो थी। उसमें एक बार मिल के बैठ के जल्दी वो बात करके ये कमेटी की है ये आयोग के पास क्या पावर, क्या यूज कर सकते हैं। क्योंकि इस्तीफे की बात भी हो सकती है, उसमें अलग अलग चीजें हैं कि भाई हमें
तो आपके पास कितना टाइम है इस जांच को करने के लिए? कितना टाइम है आपके पास?
इसमें अभी तो यही बोला कि जितनी जल्दी से जल्दी हो सके, क्योंकि ये बड़ा गंभीर मसला है, इसमें लंबा टाइम नहीं खींचना।
क्या आप IOA के पास इतना पावर है कि वो WFI के अध्यक्ष को सस्पेंड कर दे?
देखिए, इस्तीफा मांगने की हक तो आयोग के पास है, क्योंकि आयोग सभी संघों से ऊपर है। इसके अंदर में इनके चुनाव होते हैं जी, वो आगे की बात है कि क्या होती है। एक बार अभी स्टार्टिंग वो चीजें हैं।
और अगर वो इस्तीफा नहीं देते तो आपके पास है पावर उनको सस्पेंड करने के लिए?
कुछ चीजें जो भी चीजें उनको यूज करेंगे, आयोग का जो पावर है वो यूज करेगा।
जी, ओके, योगेश्वर दत्त, थैंक यू वेरी मच. ही इज पार्ट of course, he's an Olympian bronze medalist. He's of course part of that IOA panel that will now look into these allegations, specifically the sexual harassment allegations. Sunita Godara is an ex-Asian marathon champion. Harpal Singh Bedi, senior sports journalist. Alka Tomar, wrestler. Norris Preetham, sports journalist, also joining us. Sunita Godara, let me start with you first. So the IOA stepping in. Clearly, the IOA has some kind of overseeing power over these other federations. But in terms of provisions that can make a material difference, can the IOA, if Brij Bhushan Singh is not forthcoming with his resignation, do they have the powers to suspend him, to overrule him?
Yes, because all these federations come under IOA, and IOA is under Olympic Charter, and then they have to abide by the rules and regulations of Olympic Charter, where if any federation not abiding by the rules and regulations of Olympic Charter, then they can debar the federation, or they can ask for suspension, or they have superpower for this. And in this case, if you go to WFI website, they have made a very illegal committee. They call it ethics committee, but on top they write sexual harassment committee. And in that committee, they put 4 men and Sakshi Malik, 1 lady. Whereas in the sexual harassment committee, the chairman should be a female, correct, of top class, and then there should be another lady from the NGO head, and then there should be 1 male, knowing about the rules and regulations and legal knowledge. This is how 4 people. This is how the sexual harassment committee is made. I'm already in the board of 2 sexual harassment committee of police department, CSF and NCB, Narcotics Control Bureau. And this is the pattern of sexual harassment committee, whereas this WFI has not made any sexual harassment committee.
Okay. So let me ask Harpal Singh Bedi, what happens next? Because clearly the sportspersons have had their second meeting with the sports minister in 2 days. Brij Bhushan Singh seems to be doubling down. Where is he getting the power and the authority to say that I'm not going to quit? Clearly, if government also wants him to quit, why are they not able to enforce it?
Now, how you are sure the government wants him to quit? Remember one thing, all these so-called Bahubalis, or any Bahubali, for any matter, it cannot be Bahubali without the government or the system. Remember this thing, 1 second. IOA has all the powers. They can disband. IOA dismissed KPS Gill under Suresh Karmadi and even disbanded Indian Hockey Federation. So IOA has all the powers. And the question here is not of IOA can do or not. The question is about sexual harassment.
Yes.
And these girls they have a case before that. I think this case will go to IOA. They will see Forget about what WFI has said. That committee has no meaning. So it is IOA which will decide whether to take action or not. And I think the players are there they're players of integrity. They are there. But one thing is that they should have taken this issue to IOA in the beginning all the way. And surprisingly, Sakshi Malik, who is here, is a head of the sexual harassment committee in the Wrestling Federation of India. And why they did not go to Sakshi Malik? Sakshi Malik is protesting at the Jantar Mantar. But
no. So I think the answer to that question came from Sunita Godara, who said that that sexual harassment committee of the WFI is against the sports code because it has to be headed by a woman. Sakshi Malik is a member. She doesn't head it. And there are, I think, 4 men and 1 woman there. Anyway, be that as it may, what I want to know, and yeah, let me ask Norris Preetham also. Now, I can't believe for the life of me that whoever this man Bahubali is, he's clearly not more powerful than the government of India. And if the sports minister is having multiple meetings with the protesting wrestlers, Olympians are sitting on the street, then where is this man deriving his power to continue on his kursi, as it were?
Raka, I think your question has an answer to it. You very rightly said that the sports minister has been meeting and the Olympians are sitting. So the question instead of asking what Bahubali has or what Mr. Brij Bhushan has power, what stops the government to take action? I think that's the most question. And another thing is, I think so far we have been debating these things when there is absolutely no official complaint by the victims. I think it has a legal angle to it, which is very important. And I'm 100% sure if the wrestlers had filed a complaint, at least a police complaint, maybe the action would have been taken.
No, but Norris Preetham, clear this for our viewers. Does the government, the sports ministry, have the powers to not just, remove this gentleman as the president of the WFI, but what the players are asking for is a complete suspension of the apex body of the WFI? Does the government and the sports ministry have those powers?
Well, the straight answer is very difficult to give because there have to be a serious allegations. I mean, you cannot do it because after all, he is also, by virtue of being the president of a national federation, he is also under the World Wrestling Federation.
Yes.
Okay, this is a very tricky issue. So, therefore, the sexual harassment case is 100% in which the government can take action. And that is why the government is not doing anything so far. They are just depending on this committee, that committee, somehow, asking the wrestlers, and ultimately what will happen, the wrestlers will get tired and they will get up and everything will go waste. So this is what my hunch feeling is.
So let me ask Alka Tomar. Alka ji, आपके जो साथी हैं वो सड़क पे बैठे हैं, अभी 3 दिन हो गए हैं, 2 मीटिंग्स हो गए उनके खेल मंत्री के साथ, अभी तक कोई मामला सुलझा नहीं है. आपको लगता है कि बिना अध्यक्ष WFI जो बृजभूषण सिंह हैं, बिना उनके स्टेप डाउन करने से ये समस्या का हल हो सकता है? बिकॉज वो कह रहे हैं कि मैं किसी के दया से यहां बैठा नहीं हूं, मैं चुनकर आया हूं, तो मैं क्यों जाऊं, ये उनका मानना है.
ये बात तो उन्होंने सही कही है, क्योंकि हर बार कमेटी के जो इलेक्शन वगैरह जो भी होते हैं उसमें अध्यक्ष पद के लिए चुनाव होते हैं हर साल, 4 साल में या जितने बार भी होता है, तो उसमें जिसकी ज्यादा वोट वगैरह होती हैं तब ही ये पद उसको ही मिलता है. तो ये बात उन्होंने कही थी. और रही हमारे खिलाड़ी साथियों की बात, मैं भी एक खिलाड़ी हूं, तो मुझे भी जब पता लगा एकदम से इन्होंने ये धरना प्रदर्शन किया, मेरे पास भी फोन आए या मैंने इनकी वीडियो वगैरह देखी, तो एकदम चौंका देने वाली ये बात थी हमारे लिए भी कि एकदम से ये क्या हुआ.
तो क्या आपको लगता है, आपने भी कुश्ती खेली है, क्या आपके करियर में उसके बाद कुछ ऐसे घटनाएं घटी हैं जहां लड़की कुश्ती करने वाले आकर आपके पास बोले हैं कि ऐसे ऐसे कोच हो या WFI अध्यक्ष हो या कोई और पदाधिकारी हो, उन लोगों ने उनके साथ बदतमीजी की, ऐसे यौन शोषण की, ऐसे
नहीं,
कुछ?
देखिए मैंने 2011 में रेसलिंग छोड़ दी थी। तब माननीय अध्यक्ष जी प्रेसिडेंट बने थे रेसलिंग फेडरेशन के, तो उस टाइम पे मैंने रेसलिंग छोड़ दी थी 2011 में। लेकिन मैं एज ए कोच इंडियन टीम के साथ रही हूँ। मैं 2018 में कोच के तौर पर ऑस्ट्रेलिया में गई हूँ और अध्यक्ष साहब भी वहां पर गए थे। और इन लड़कियों के जो फाइटें होती थी, सभी फाइटों पे उनको बकअप करने आते थे, मोटिवेट उनको करते थे, प्रैक्टिस टाइम में भी आते थे। तो कभी भी ऐसा नहीं लगा मुझे, तो मैं सच्चाई आपको बताऊं, मुझे कभी नहीं लगा। मैंने शायद 3 साल में कैंप में रही हूँ, इंडिया कैंप में, तो मुझे कभी ऐसा नहीं लगा, ना मुझसे किसी ने कहा, एक भी लड़की ने अभी तक।
We've had a couple of wrestlers yesterday and today, and I want to ask Harpal Singh Bedi this. A lot of wrestlers have also come out and countered this, saying that, well, Brij Bhushan Singh Sharan may be a lot of things. He may be a gunda, he may be a bahubali, so on and so forth. But we don't think he's a molester. In your experience of covering this sport, Harpal Singh Bedi, does that become irrelevant because an allegation is there and that allegation needs to be probed? Or what has been this gentleman's record so far?
Zaka, let me tell you one thing. The dirt is in both the camps. It's not that when Brij Bhushan said, if I say something, tsunami will turn, he's not wrong. This Wrestling Federation has a very checkered, not so glorious past. V.C. Shukla, you must have heard his name. He was all-powerful minister during Mrs. Gandhi's time. He was the president of Wrestling Federation of India. उसके कपड़े उतार दिए थे स्टेडियम में. They just tore his wrestlers. No president of Wrestling Federation has come with a grace or has gone with a grace. This is a very tipsy-turvy organization. It is very difficult to explain what is happening. So when this Brij Bhushan saying, if I am saying something, because 80% of the wrestlers here, or wrestlers or officials, everybody, either they forged their age group, or they did they changed the date of birth to get the awards, the Padma Award or Arjuna Award. So there is too much of dirt with both sides. Don't blame one body. So whether Brij Bhushan Singh is molested or not, I cannot say. I am nobody to judge about it.
Fair
but
enough,
the time has come to come clean. This you must see the federation history. It is not the first time this is happening. This is but because the TV channels are there, so we have come to know everything. Otherwise, these wrestlers used to beat the officials in the stadium. Now, because they have come out, simple as that. So
look, let's be very, very clear. Of course, the TV channels magnify and amplify what is happening, but on the ground, the fact that Olympians are coming and sitting on the streets, I don't think that's happened ever before. That's why.
The Olympians, my dear sir, but listen to me. These were the Olympians who beat up V.C. Shukla. These were the Olympians or the Asian Games champions who threatened so many other presidents.
Of course.
And Norris will tell you further.
No, of course. There is an Olympic silver medalist who's in jail for murder. So yeah, look. I'm not here, trying to give a character certificate or otherwise to anyone. Yeah. My point to know, Norris Preetham, is Brij Bhushan Singh is completely doubling down. He says, I don't have a care in the world. No one can remove me. He's waiting for the AGM that's going to happen on Sunday. What may possibly give? Because I still can't wrap my head around the fact that this is a major embarrassment for the government. You have wrestlers, Olympians sitting on the street. They've had multiple rounds of meetings with the sports minister, and yet they don't seem to be able to get this man to quit. And I frankly don't think that unless he quits, there is going to be a resolution to this problem, at least not in the immediate term. The first step has to be that he steps down.
Yeah, I mean, again and again we are going back to the same thing. Why is he not resigning? Why is he not stepping down? The fact is he knows that nothing can be done. I mean, if the government, there has to be a political will. And and I also know that he is a politician, he is a member of parliament and a very strong member of parliament. He has got a good hold in UP, and no government will touch him, because the coming elections are also there, that thing in mind. So I don't think government will take, government may have been wanting to get rid of him as WFI president, but they also need a scapegoat. They also need a way out. That is why again and again I'm saying, if the wrestlers go to police and then becomes a tool for the government to take action. Government will not say, Brij Bhushan Singh, please you step down. I mean, if government had that will, he openly on camera, he says, I have shot a man, and then he said he slapped a man, which is already on cam. He slapped a wrestler.
Yeah.
What did government do? I mean, these two are reasons good enough to sack him.
No, I think the most grave charge that has been brought forth, and I want Sunita Godara to respond to this, the gravest charge that's been brought forth is that of sexual harassment. Maladministration, corruption, all of those things you can deal with. But sexual harassment is a criminal offense. And it's been 3 days, and I can't understand why the wrestlers have not filed a police complaint. Vinesh Fogart says initially it was just 2 or 3 girls, but now there are at least 5 or 6 of them. Today she said there was a 30-minute audio clip of this gentleman speaking to a wrestler from one of the states. And from that clip, you can evidently see how he's harassing her. Why not put this out into the public domain? The point is that it's been 3 days, and the only thing that seemingly can give in the story is the sexual harassment allegation. If there was no sexual harassment allegation, I don't think Brij Bhushan Singh's continuance would have been that difficult. But with the sexual harassment allegation, his continuance at the head of the WFI has become untenable, according to me.
That's true. Ministry has full power to ask him to get out of the federation, means just suspend him from the federation, ask him to resign. That power they have, because as per POCSO rules, sexual harassment allegations, when anybody putting that, they don't have to come out with the names and all, and going to the police, they have done the better thing coming to the media, because as per Olympic Charter, if any athlete in any distress come out and give video recording, audio recording, or to the press, that is a pakka, final evidence.
Okay.
So ministry has that, because all the channels are covering and it is all recorded. It can be seen again and again and again. And why they are delaying 4 days? The whole world is watching this ugly face of the sports politics, or whatever it is.
अलका तोमर, let me ask अलका तोमर जी, आपको लगता है कि ये जो आरोप इन्होंने लगाए हैं, पिछले 3 दिन से सड़क पे बैठे हैं, इनको आगे आके पुलिस कंप्लेन दर्ज करनी चाहिए? आज भी विनेश फोगाट ने बोला है कि उनके पास एक 30 मिनट का ऑडियो क्लिप है, एक रेसलर और अध्यक्ष ब्रिज भूषण सिंह के बीच में जो वार्तालाप चल रही है, उसका एक ऑडियो क्लिप है. अगर वो ऑडियो क्लिप रिलीज कर देगी तो पूरा सच सामने आ जाएगा. तो मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाह रहा हूं कि अभी तक क्यों हुआ नहीं है ये? अभी तो 72 घंटे हो गए जब से वो सड़क पे बैठे हैं, लेकिन अभी तक भी ये पुलिस कोई कंप्लेंट दर्ज नहीं हुआ है.
बिल्कुल, मैं तो दूसरे चैनलों पे भी यही बोल रही थी कि जो भी किसी के पास प्रूफ है, वो प्रूफ आप दिखाइए, और जो भी आपने इल्जाम लगाए हैं वो साबित हो जाएंगे, और जो भी सजा इन्हें मिलेगी वो मिलनी चाहिए. अगर जो भी गलत है यहाँ पर, चाहे वो प्लेयर हैं, चाहे अध्यक्ष हैं कुश्ती फेडरेशन के, तो आपके पास सबूत हैं, आप पुलिस के पास जाइए, कंप्लेंट दर्ज कीजिए, ना कि सभी के नाम बताकर. अगर भाई हम एक लड़की हैं, हमको अभी भी लगता है कि हमें नाम छुपाने हैं, या इस तरह से बातें आ जाती हैं लड़कियों के उस पर, तो आप कंप्लेंट तो इनकी दर्ज कर सकते हैं, आप एविडेंस दिखा सकते हैं, आप प्रूफ दिखा सकते हैं कि हमारे पास ये प्रूफ है.
मैं हमारे दर्शकों को ये भी बता दूं कि सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट केसेस में और विमेन हैरेसमेंट केसेस में, डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस केसेस में, जो विमेन के खिलाफ जो क्राइम्स होते हैं, क्राइम्स अगेंस्ट विमेन, वहां पे अगर विक्टिम जो है अपना नाम पता वगैरह नहीं देना चाहती है, तब उनका आइडेंटिटी पूरा एनोनिमस भी रख के वो पुलिस कंप्लेन दर्जा कर सकते हैं. लेकिन अभी तक वो हुआ नहीं है, और मैं जानना चाहता हूं कि क्यों हुआ नहीं है.
यही किसी को भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि आप इतना बड़ा धरना प्रदर्शन आपने किया, इतने बड़े आपने इल्जाम यहाँ पर लगाए हैं, तो आप पहले पुलिस कंप्लेंट करते, आप एविडेंस आप दिखाते. हाँ, नाम जैसे आपने कहा कि नहीं दिखा सकते, छुपा सकते हैं हम, तो ठीक है, छुपा के आप कर सकते थे ये चीजें.
Okay. Harpal Singh
करनी
Bedi,
चाहिए
what
थी
is
आप।
likely to happen between now and Sunday when there is this emergency meeting of the WFI? As I understand, a majority of the members of the executive body of the WFI will have to ask for this gentleman's resignation. That may or may not happen. What is most likely to happen? Will he step down before that meeting or during that meeting? Or is he still going to brazen it out?
Best thing, he cannot brazen out. He may be a greatest Bahubali, but he cannot fight the government. But the best thing will be all these girls give the proof to Amit Shah straight away that we do not trust the police. We have some respect for ourselves. We do not trust anybody. These are the proof, and this is the clear sign. And why you are having them this MP in your party? Simple. They are very powerful women now. Media with them. Let them go to Home Minister. Say that we don't trust police because we have some respect, and also says secrecy should be maintained. Here in the seal envelope, we are giving you all the proofs. Please look into it and then they decide. I think this is the easiest thing to happen. They are not doing it. On 31st day, Vinay said, I will name the people. And this man retorted. He said, you say something. If I open my mouth, tsunami will come. I said, there is a dirt both sides. But the girl should take courage and go to Amit Shah, Home Minister, straight away. Don't
No,
go
no,
to police
there
if
may
you
be
do not
dirt
believe
on
in
both
police,
sides,
or you
which
do not want to go
is
to law.
fine, which
And
is kosher.
submit
But
the
I
envelope.
think,
These
like
are
I said,
proof.
like I
Finish
said,
it.
the sexual harassment allegations are the most grave. That is the one that is completely changing the nature of the allegations against this gentleman Brij Bhushan Singh. Because if it was just corruption, maladministration, badly organizing camps and so on, that would have been responded to in a very different way, in a very different nature. But the moment it became sexual harassment, that's where I think clearly everyone's sort of ears perked up. The attention of the nation was on these wrestlers because there is zero tolerance for this. There is absolutely zero tolerance for sexual harassment in any workplace, in any federation. So let's see how that story plays out. Norris Preetham, I'll sort of start getting closing comments from you and then Sunita Godara. What could possibly give? I believe that you cannot have a solution until this gentleman steps down. He seems to be digging his heels in. Something's got to give.
Rakas, a police complaint is, as I started saying that, this is one thing, but I'm surprised that so far the government or somebody or some activist or somebody has not filed an PIL, or government can take a suo motu action also. I mean, if you go in the streets of Delhi, we see a boy watches a girl and the girl says he was staring at me, and the police immediately catches him. And because, as you said, there is no hearing in sexual harassment case, that comes later. First he is caught. Now here is a man who claims that he has shot a man, who slaps people, and yet nothing, because he is a powerful man. So there has to be a will for the government to do something. If you keep that because he is an election year aane wala hai and BJP member hai and is a parliamentarian, then nothing will happen. I am sorry to say that unless there is a concrete action by the government, nothing will happen.
Sunita Godara, do you see the possibility of Brij Bhushan Singh stepping down? And like I said, the other complication is the government of the Sports Ministry does not have the authority or the power to ask him to step down or to forcibly sack him. If they have to do it, they have to suspend the entire federation, and that could of course have further ramifications. The World Wrestling Federation could come in to their rescue, so on and so forth. So really, they are caught between a rock and a hard place. But what do you expect could likely happen in the next couple of days?
The World Wrestling Federation will follow the Olympic Charter, so they know there is a sexual harassment allegation. Now the ministry has to come out very strong. IOA has to come out in a strong manner, because they can also do everything. Because police may, I fully agree with Mr. Bedi, when they will go to police, evidence वगैरह पता नहीं कहाँ चले जाएंगे. So it is better to go to Amit Shah. They are, from the very first day, they are saying they want to meet PM and HM. And now Sports Ministry should take strong action. What is their, it's their jurisdiction. It's not that they don't have power, they don't have authority. The Sports Ministry can ask him to, just leave the federation, or they can debar the federation, make another committee for time being, and probe this case.
अलका तोमर, आपको मैं लास्ट वर्ड देता हूँ. ये बताइए कि आपको लगता है कि ये जो आईओए का कमेटी है, उनके पास पावर्स हैं, उनके पास ये जांच करने की अधिकार है कि क्या हुआ इन रेसलर्स के साथ, इसका निष्पक्ष जांच होने का उनके पास अधिकार है? क्या आपको लगता है कि आईओए की जांच कमेटी से ही जो सच है, जो दूध का दूध और पानी का पानी हो सकता है?
देखिए, उम्मीद तो है पूरी की सोच समझ के ही ये कमेटी बनाई गई होगी खेल मंत्री जी द्वारा। तो लगता है कि दूध का दूध और पानी का पानी हो जाएगा, और पूरे देश को इंतजार है, हम सबको भी इंतजार है कि जो सही है वो ही हमारे सबके सामने आ जाए, और सब सच्चाई सबके सामने आए बस।
Okay, we leave it at that. Thank you very much, Sunita Godara, Alka Tomar, Harpal Singh Bedi, and of course, Norris Preetham for joining us. I'm going to take a quick break here on the program. When we come back, it's a standoff. It's been going on for the last many months now between the judiciary and the government. This is over the appointment of judges, both at the High Courts and at the Supreme Court, and that has taken a rather public and a rather ugly turn. We'll tell you more about that right on the other side of this quick